Hello everyone. Today I was invited to speak at an educational conclave about the topic on mindfulness, how to use mindfulness with children. And there was just not enough time to really give you information as educators or as parents in a way as much as I wanted. So there was just a limited time. So I thought I'd just do this video and drop it to you so that you have the entire set if you're interested in information. Number one, I'm going to the phone and I'd like to read with you the explanation of what is mindfulness. So we have one explanation in the dictionary that says that mindfulness is the quality of state of being conscious or aware of something. And another form to say it is that mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations used as a therapeutic technique. And then we also have an explanation from meditation, from yoga, and from the more psychological viewpoint, which says that mindfulness is the psychological process of purposely bringing one's attention to experiences occurring in the present moment without judgment, which one develops through the practice of meditation and through other training. So there are some different understandings on what is mindfulness. What is the present situation? So in regard to mindfulness, the present situation is, when we look at it, mindfulness means to be in the here and now, to be in this present moment, not to be in the past and not to be in the future. So this is something that's quite difficult for adults, but it's quite easy for children. Maybe you remember a situation when a child is angry or frustrated about something. As soon as the child calms down, normally everything is fine and they are not attached. They forget about it and they are living happily on from that moment. So we could say that children have, and especially the very young children, have a very natural way of being mindful. So this is one thing. The world in which they move is filled with lots of adults and situations that we have, especially in this present situation where there's lots of stress. So we are constantly thinking about the future, have to do this, have to do that, what will come here, fears, anxieties also when we are going into the future, thinking about how do I work this out, worries, concerns, always are connected with how will the future be. Then also we have a lot of overstimulation. So depending on where you live, but children constantly are stimulated from so many different angles, via media, via advertisements, the traffic, noise, radio, sound, music. So all of this around people who are around other children. So lots of stimulation coming to children. So we could say we are really in a fast-moving world, which actually makes it difficult to stay in a mindful situation, mindful state, we could say. So for children, as we said, in general, the infant is born being very aware of the here and now and the present moment. In the first months, especially in the first 8 to 12 months, the child is very much connected to the mother. They are building something that's called a symbiosis, where the child or the infant and baby at that time feels like the mom feels. So they're really in sync. So if the mother feels fear, anxiety, or the primary person which is connected to the child, it also has an effect on the child, on the infant, and is bringing already more chaos in this normally very calm and de-stressed state that an infant would have. The more the toddler starts to progress in life, the more also distractions come into the life of this toddler. What shows today a lot through sensory disorders, which we can see in young children already, And so the interesting part for children is that they actually need to learn on how to feel their emotions and be aware of what happens inside of them. And so that is now the situation where the educator and the parent comes in, which should be a guide to help them to really stay with their own feelings, being able to recognize them. So we have to stop this distraction. Think about a situation when a toddler is, preschooler is angry or something. So what many parents, but also educators try to do in the moment when the child becomes very angry, very frustrated, they try to distract them with something. They put a toy in front of them. They give them suggestions of other things. So what they do is they take their awareness and mindfulness towards this present situation, the emotion and the energy in them. They redirect it to a different thing. So what it means is that the toddler, the young child, actually loses their mindful state and goes to a more on the outside oriented one. So this is something that in TLI pedagogics we try not to do. We always try to help the child to really feel, yes, you're angry now. Yes, you're sad now. I'm here for you. Whatever the toddler, the child needs, wants, I'm here for you to go through this process till the process calms down. When a child is calm, then we can suggest some other things. So that's one of the way how we deal to not get them also disconnect from their inner being and their emotional feelings. A second step, a second solution or something that really helps with mindfulness is to try to have a calm environment. So there's not constantly a radio, television, or any animation program, let's say it like this. So in case of the educators, for example, if you have a lesson plan where you go from one activity to the next activity, the child is constantly in the outside. So they lose their connection to themselves and the intrinsic power which they actually have inside them. They could motivate them to learn whatever the child is now ready to learn. They lose it. It fades out to a certain degree. So calm environment. Then also slow down in all you do. That's another thing that we should bring into, so that would be a third solution. Slow down in what you do, slow down in your speaking, slow down in your actions, especially for young children. If they want to understand something, it helps them a lot if we slow down, and also if we break it in pieces. So if we show them how to fill water into a glass from the pitcher, and we just take it and do it, even with one hand, they may not be able to do it for a long time because that's not the way how they would be able to do it. So we have to also envision how this one child would be able to solve this situation and do the process by themselves, and then break it down, show them exactly how we touch the pitcher and how we hold it, how we can move it, that we are very careful when we use it. So very slow, breaking down things in parts so that it's easy for them to understand. Allowing emotions, we said that already. When we allow emotions, we are with us. We are in this present state. Now, in this moment, I am feeling anger. Anger is a strong energy, and what do we do with it? Now, in this moment, I'm feeling so happy, and I even don't know what to do with all of this energy. So what could we do with this energy? So this is something what helps children a lot, practicing mindfulness, but also staying in touch with their inner being. Then, when children are highly concentrated in a play situation or in something, adults tend not to see that. So they constantly interrupt in this concentration periods and concentration spans. In TLI pedagogics, before we address a child, it is very important for us that we watch very carefully the child. If it's at the present moment, deep in a thought, if it's deep in a thought, he or she, we wait a little bit till they dive out of this concentration span, what is not a too long period. And then also, very important that we have an area at home, but also in the preschool, where we create really a space for the child to relax, to calm down, where we can also block out the outside noise to a certain degree. So, and through sensory play, it's not just for activating the brain, but it's also helping to feel oneself. So there's so many possibilities to practice mindfulness, but especially help the children to stay in this present moment, not going to the future and not stay in the past, in this present moment, what is natural to them. So better we learn from the children. In that case, they are really teachers to us. So let's repeat the points that we give you to what you need to be aware when you practice mindfulness with children in a very, very simple way. Number one, do not have too much distraction. Stop distraction in emotional, whatever. So try not to distract from what's going on at the moment. 2, we have a calm environment. 3, slow down in all you do and break things that you show in small parts so that children can understand it better. Then we have 4, allow emotions. 5, don't interrupt when they are highly concentrated. 6, create an area to relax. And 7, allow them to feel themselves. Use sensory play for that. Movement also plays a big role, but that I will collaborate in a different video. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please click like and especially also subscribe. When you click the bell, you know that then you're notified when we are putting something new out. Tell us also in the comments what you would like to hear from us. If there's some topic that TLI Pedagogic should bring to you home, to your family, or to you as an educator. I'm so much looking forward. We are just in process to finalizing the first workshops that we also will put out, which you can attend online on your own, in your own speed, on our online academy learning platform. Will inform you in time. Stay connected with us. If you want information, we also put down the email ID. You can send us an email. We'll add you to our newsletter so that you are informed regularly about what's going on in TLI Pedagogics. I wish you a beautiful day and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Namaste.